I know he brought up the morbid stuff. Well, he's talking about a movie that I did called Insecure, a movie that came out last year sometime, and the character that I played in that movie ended up being killed in a car crash. You know, partially because he was texting while he was driving.
Don't even do that.
That's right. And on his cell phone when he was driving. So. And that's what happens to people sometimes, you know, a lot more often than you know. So, all right, so if you're doing that and you're in the car, if you're riding in the car with somebody and they're texting while they're driving, say, hey, this precious cargo on board. Can you get off your phone? All right, who's next?
Okay, all the way to the back of the purple.
You had to check, huh? But at least you checked. That was good. That's smart. How do you get in the movie? That's another good question. That's a very good question. Let's see. It's to try to make it sound real simple. Basically, it's almost as if, you know, you came in a room about this size, but let's say, see these beautiful people sitting behind me? Let's say they're the only 3 people that are in the room. And there's somebody in the room also with a video camera, and then sometimes somebody with a camera like Brother Ash right here. So you come in the room and you do what's called an audition. So you have, see all you guys got all these wonderful books in here. Reading is very important. I have to read every day, all the time. It's probably the most important skill that I use all the time. And I love to read. So luckily, you know, when I have an audition, I'm always very prepared. I read what we call a script, which are pages, right, from the story, right? Okay, but it's basically a book, but it's just written in a different way, right? So it's written on loose pages. So normally when you come into the room, into an audition, you already have the material that you're supposed to read. And then you come in and you perform that in front of a group of people who make the decision whether or not they think you're right for the movie and for the part. And hopefully if they decide that, you know, you're prepared and you're talented and you have a good understanding of what you're reading and that you can perform it and you can turn it into that and make it just sound like it's normal conversation. So even though, you know, me and Rick are right there in that scene acting like we're childhood friends, we've only known each other 5 years, not 15, 20 years, but you just have to turn those words into natural, you know, conversation and really kind of bring that character that you're supposed to be to life. Right? And if you do a good job of that, then they say, they sit down just like that and say, oh, you know, we kind of like that guy. You know, and then of course there's all kind of other decisions that go into it. But for the most part, if you come in and you do well with your audition, normally that shows them, you know, that you're the right person for the job.